Looking at me. Like you don't care about a thing. I should shut up. I'm just a little doge. Okay, I think sound's working. Good evening, everybody. Let the games begin. I think I'm successfully live on both platforms, hopefully. Confirmed, it's working. Okay, let me post a go live notification to Discord. And we'll be off. What's up, Puma? Why are you so mean to me? Hey, Court. How's it going? Good evening, good evening. I'm live. Hollow Palm. Pinnacle only. Hi. Live and live streaming. Share. Where do I get the link? There it is. Copy. YouTube's always got to be so difficult. My Twitch is oddly zoomed out. Uh-oh. That sounds bad. Oh, you're right. That looks weird. I'll be right back. I'm going to fix that. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm such a good streamer. I know how to do streams. Is my YouTube stream working? I can't tell. Garacond. I don't think it is. Crap. Is the Twitch one working? Okay, the Twitch one's working. I don't think it is. Crap. I hate being so bad. What a failure of a human. Let's see if I can fix my YouTube one. Sorry, everybody. Okay, YouTube actually is working. It was just lying to me. You're a liar. Let me make sure this is the right link. There we go. I had to switch to the link. That's what it was. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. That would have made me really sad to find out like the end. It would have been tragically sad, actually. Okay, remove the embeds because they're ugly. And we're off to the races. Oh, Puma, how you been? What's going on in life? I've actually been a little bit sick this week. Whole family's been battling sickness for about a week and a half. But it's always easier if the kids aren't sick, and right now it's just one of my girls is a little bit sick still, but everybody's pretty good. What's up, Rex? Welcome, dude. Oh, who knows? Who knows what it is? Airplane bugs. Level 24, let's go, Court. You got this, dude. You got this. I can show you what you have to look forward to, which is like endless repeat Pinnacle content. We're going to go like this. 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to run tons and tons of Zesht. That's going to be our life tonight. Turn the music volume down a bit. Okay, I think all my stream stuff is working. I'm going to close these windows. Talking Doge is working. Yay. And we're off. Where's the monsters, man? They need to spawn faster. I'm a little bit fast this season. ES chest crafting guide. I do not have one. Based on some of the mechanics I've seen in crafting, I would probably go for a recombinate to start. I don't know. I'd be making stuff up if I were to pretend I knew how to craft an ES chest. But if I was in SSF and I had to, I think I know a means to an end. It may not be that good, though. What's up, Mason? Welcome. Thanks for saying hi. What's up, Zal? How are you tonight, man? Yeah, I mean, on my chest, all I cared about was base ES, because if you start caring about more than that, then it ends up costing like 50 divs or more, which means it must be a more difficult craft than some of our really deterministic things. Maybe. I don't know if that's for sure, but it's my assumption when something costs more like that. Hey, thanks, Achilles. Appreciate that, man. Thanks, everyone, for saying hi and saying positive things. Oh, that's cool. I still haven't found one of those. I wouldn't even know where those drop, actually. Woo! An exceptional unique. That's cool, right? My chest is just a big fat ES chest. It's got like 1100 ES and that's it. I know, Puma. Yeah, where does it drop, Zal? I don't even know where it drops. Oh, you gambled one. Okay. I assume it drops from like one of the weird abyss zones or something. Yeah, Rex, I think you're right on the Vile Robe. Checks out from what I know. An exceptional 3-socket Vile Robe 82 is like really expensive. Wow, look at this thing. 26% Soul Mantle. Needed by no one ever.
Can I help?
But you never know, right? You can dream.
I'm sure someone would want that.
It like sells immediately. And I'm like, wait. Why do I do that? Look at this. Bow attacks, fires 2 additional arrows. Hey, bow nerds, is this ever good? Yeah, the bell is gone, Puma. Bell is gone. I loved Bell, but it kept getting in my way. I had to find a way out of it. 500 div, there's one for sale. That's ridiculous. Mason, final verdict is a straight ES chest for sure. Because we run Stalking Panther. On gloves, I am running some evasion gloves right now, but these could easily be flat ES as well. Yeah, nothing is hybrid. We don't want hybrid gear when we're Amazon. Yes, we are bellless. Bellless and loving it. We are the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That would be a great name for a build that uses Bell. I'm going to use that in the future if I ever have to do that. People even know that show? Might be dating myself here a little bit. One moment. I think I'm going to turn the overall game volume down. A little bit harsh. Less cowbell. Great show. All right, somebody knows. Okay, yeah, you could probably annul one down, but that's still incredibly expensive. I mean, that exceptional I just picked up is the first one that I have seen that has shown up in my loot filter all season. So I guess they made exceptionals even rarer than they are in PoE 1. A lot rarer. This is so slow. I don't think I've ever been like so ahead of the speed of this breach zone as I am with this build. It just so instantly deletes anything if I just hit E. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, Court. That's important to know as you're shopping those things, because that can be pretty misleading if you think you have to have 82, but you actually don't need to have 82 at all. Oh, here comes big scary purple guy out of the wall. What's he gonna do? Do the big nuke? Meanie. Ooh, took a risk there. I hit him when I had like, I think I had like 50 on the combo. Pretty solid though. Oh, I need to try. Somebody talked about doing the bifurcate with the Dialius, and that's something I do want to try. I think that's worth a shot. I think I have the bifurcate gem still. I might have sold it back. It just felt like it didn't work. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it has T4. Pretty ridiculous, right? Am I killing this for monies? Yeah. Basically what I do is I slaughter him. I have an 80 Exalt Breach ring tab. I don't even look at him. I dump him in. Somebody from China messages me if it's good, and then I take a look at it and I will craft on it or like sell it as is. I don't know if Zesht has any other like straight drops that are good. The catalysts are fine. I'm getting lots and lots of catalysts. And then he drops a high currency every like, I don't know, 6 or 7. The splinters are just so cheap, though. I mean, first of all, you'll need half as many to run a Zesh run, but look at this. If I buy 1 div of breach splinters, it's 1,400. You know how long that would take to farm? That's 9.3 Zesh runs for 1 div. It's crazy printing. And yeah, you get the high item level, so you can find good bases, although the rarity in the zone seems to be pretty juiced. So it actually doesn't happen. But, you know, you can find rare bases to craft on. Yeah, that makes sense, Court. That makes sense. I'm going to do another one like this, and then I want to try out this Garrikans and see if we can get it cracking at all. The sciencing never ends in PoE. Always stuff to work on. Especially when everybody's playing bows and nobody's actually working on anything else. Whoa, my guy just got really fast there for a second. What that was all about. How do you proc the Sapphire Charm? I don't proc it myself. It's just there in case it goes off and I get a power charge. Because I don't really need any of the other charms. The Frozen Charm I feel like is pretty essential. You hit a strong box, you don't want to get frozen. The Forsaken Bangle I think is great in Abyss. A must-have, I think. For any build, probably. Definitely for this build. And then, yeah, the last one is just like, what else do I want? Maybe a random power charge every once in a while. No, I'm not using Golden. I suppose I'd consider that. I hadn't even thought about that. My season's been really odd. I didn't have a ton of time to play, and so all my focus has been on getting this build to where I thought it could be, in theory. Like, I had a place I thought I could get to on paper. I was pretty confident about it, and I just had to make it come to life. And that's been, like, my full-time investment this season. So stuff like Gold Charm, I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be a great idea. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, exactly. Well, to be fair, the change in flicker quality was not in the patch notes. It remained as damage, just like Falling Thunder is. So I was actually a little bit bitter that that stayed that way. That was wrong, GGG. You cheated us. That thing seems okay. Good resist there, but probably bad. Whoa. Oh my god! Dude, I've never seen him do that. Did you guys see that? He stopped and then sniped me. Oh my god. What the? I'm trying to get a capture Windows. Oh my god, my Windows updated yesterday and it's been the tragedy of my life. Did that capture or not? That was hilarious. 919. No, it didn't. Ah. Game. He didn't. Oh, maybe it's because I'm so fast. He didn't keep chasing me with his nuke bolt. He held it in place and then shot it as I drove by. That was gnarly.
Beware, Dosa.
Have to get crit on a staff for it to be useful? How come? Are you not doing Hollow Palm? I did some testing with Flicker. It got up there pretty good. You know, if you go for the YOLO, like, not consume charges stuff, then of course you have moments that are really dreamy. But on bosses, it was still okay by itself with good crit chance. The reason I like ultimately totally let it go is that with the new design, it just isn't really usable in maps. And so, like, Falling Thunder is super usable in maps and is more DPS on bosses, so obviously better choice. But Flicker's more fun. It was decent on bosses, but kind of unusable in maps, so I kind of let it go. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
This'll do nicely.
Okay, this time, since I'm so fast, I need to make sure I don't zoomy around him and actually get nuked in the face. Important considerations. Okay, we got the Hand of Doom. Got the nuke. Oh, he's just being really mean. Okay, that time he did it right. That was very confusing the first time. Very odd. Reduce charm charges used tier 1. I wonder if that's ever good. I'll let China tell me. I'm sure you can. My latest video is super long, but I wouldn't say I'm babbling. I'm just trying to actually explain everything so that people really understand how it works. And so that's why it's super long. That's to say that if you do, anybody who makes it through that whole anthology will truly understand the build and like the finer points of some of the skills and how to kind of make everything click. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mason. I get, each video I get at least one comment that's like, this was really helpful, and that's what it's all about. And yeah, when I first started out making videos, which was like kind of late in the .2 season, I really felt they needed to be well edited. And I don't know why that is. Now I focus a lot more of my time on making like unique and valuable content, which means less time for editing. Probably means less views overall. People like nicely polished and edited videos, right? But I think it does mean like better content for people who actually are here for good content. Like learning about builds and PoE and creative ideas and all that. People like Puma. Puma's always here for creative PoE content. All right, have a good night. Thank you for coming by. Catch you later. Good luck. Good luck. It is interesting, like, if you watch my energy shield, it is interesting how much I don't get hit at all by minions because evasion is just so OP. That was a breach ring tier 5, by the way. I'm going to check that bad boy out. Where is that one? Is this one? Ooh. It's not very good, I guess. It rolled 6 mods, too. Alright, Zash, don't be mean. Okay, he's doing the nuke again. You make sure I don't get a drive-by shooting. Dude, where did the hand go? I never saw the Hand of Doom. It came out, I swear. I wonder why this quiver shows up on the filter blade filter. I wonder if you can like vol it for something good on the enchant that bow people like. Bow nerds. What's up, Lemon? How's it going tonight, man? Good morning. How's it going this morning? Drinking some coffee or something? We go again. I think I'm going to try the bifurcate crit in the Falling Thunder. And I guess we pull out attunement. Wait, I can't? Oh, that's right. I can't use that with culmination. That's why. I knew there was a reason I wasn't using that. And now I know. Close combat's better, right? Than attunement. What's better, close combat or lightning attunement? Culmination at 33 stacks does as much damage as a bifurcated crit. Well, it would depend on your crit damage bonus, right? I would think. This culmination is going to be more damage per combo. I actually don't know if I totally believe that culmination does what it says. Because, like, yeah, at 100% more damage with my crit bonus, I should be doing like 100 million damage or something incredible. But I thought that last season with Culmination, I was like, that's not really doing that. It was good. Like, it was good enough I didn't care. That's not exactly what it did. But it definitely didn't seem like it was doing exactly what the text said it was doing. It seemed like it was more like maybe per 10 combo or something. Another Aussie. Actually, I have a few, like on YouTube, you get analytics by location. Australia is like a PoE loving country, it seems like. Maybe it's just my channel. People love the dog, right? It looks like a dingo. Doesn't Sheba look like a dingo? And you guys have the great dingo fence and all that stuff. I want to see that fence one day. That's probably why Aussies see the dingo. You're like, hey, maybe that guy's a bloke. Dingoes take children. What? What just happened? This chat just went south. Aren't dingoes a nuisance animal? I think so. And they're just like wild dogs. And yeah, like I think in Australia the government like pays people to kill dingoes in certain parts. Whoa. Big tier 1 roll. Ooh, deflection, chaos. Some cooking items there. Okay, he's doing it again. You meanie. Oh, interesting. That's interesting about the koala chlamydia vaccine. That does plague koalas really intensely. My kids are obsessed with animals, and they love Steve Irwin, so I know a lot of stuff about animals in Australia. Oh. One of those things where it happened one time, and everybody's like, that's how it is now. Dingoes take kids. Kill them all. All right, we got a tier 1 hybrid evasion, chaos, and deflection. That thing is potentially pretty nasty. This thing is full and it's bad. Dump that, dump that, dump that. A very small ring. Also bad. Dump that. All right, this guy. Tier 1 hybrid. Tier 1 regen. Chaos and deflection are kind of bad. I think we'll see what this... Okay, yeah, that pulled out life. And bad. Can you do him with less than 100 combo? Probably. I'm curious if this, without culmination... Doesn't even let me swap. I have to go like that. And then that. I don't understand, like, the bifurcated hit has less of a chance. Most modifiers are percentage based, gaining 100% crit chance on a base crit hit chance of 7% will result in a final crit of 14. Bifurcates. Hits this weapon roll against their chance twice. When determining if the roll succeeds, the hit will be a crit, and thus the bonus apply to normal. If both rolls succeed, it'll be a crit. The bonus will apply twice. Why is Okay, I see. So the chance for a second is... Why is it less than half? I don't understand. Anyway, I think my crit chance is at 100% when the power charges are there. I'm just evasion on gloves, just straight evasion right now. Anyway, I don't think this bifurcate effect is going to be as powerful as culmination, but I kind of want to try. I think it could be though, and I have to know that it's a crit. We got to see that it actually critted. Because if you're at 100% crit chance, then you always bifurcate. Am I even saying that word right? What are words? I have a catalyst stash tab. It's pretty fat and full. I don't know what to do with it. Nobody needs catalysts. Yeah, I could throw the ES gloves on to increase that chance, but I do think... It says 84 and then an 18 here. So that should be at 100. It's just because it's hybridizing. It only goes to 100 when this minimum value helps it hit 100. So, so you see how this is 84 and this is 13.16. So the minimum value is not 100. This is the Amazon ad. But the maximum value is well over 100. And it is calculating the value based on range. So it should be 100. Oh, like a dedicated stash tab for Catalyst. That would be awesome. I still don't get why they don't just like make tabs for everything and take all our money. I would buy everything instantly. And I am not the only one. This is a shut up and take my money video game for sure. I'm going to be really sad when this bifurcated hit does like no damage somehow. The answer will be make a gemling. Whoa. You love your heralds. Heralds are good. Nothing wrong with that. Was that hand? Was that scary hand? It was scary hand. What's he doing next? Okay. Okay, it almost killed him. It almost killed him. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Nikes. I think you're exactly right. Woo, what's that one? Scion's Temper. Not good, really? Namandra says, do you like Mirror Ring? What do you mean? Sounds great. You have one? You want to give? My rings are dog. My rings are bad. I mean, they're fine, but they're like 1 or 2 div rings. My build is cheap except for jewels. Oh, like Calandras? I like Calandras, yeah. That's cool. 300% at 100 stacks, and then it calculates the bonus. Yeah, you're right. So that did almost kill him. I wonder... So it's 30% more bonus. I wonder if we put Blindside in. If we can figure out a way to kill him without Culmination, that'd be really cool. Blindside is the next best crit bonus gem, right? Let's double check. 15% more. It's not that much. They're super critical. But I think I'm pretty far away from being able to use that. That would make it 73 and 14. Whoa. 73, 83, 87. That actually is really close. If I go ES gloves, that might actually work. That's 76 and 14. Puts me at 90, and then with a power charge. We'll have to take a look. Might be close with super critical. And this is where, like, if I had a little bit better ES chest, then it would definitely do it. Court, 27, do I make the switch? Well, our bow's going fine, because there's no reason to, like, switch in the campaign if bows are going fine, right? You can always switch when bows stop being fine. Or when you don't want to buy a bow. The thing is, bows never stop being fine, though, so... in the campaign, the Hollow Palm was really good on bosses. I mean, I think bows are fine on bosses, but the Hollow Palm was like 5-second delete on all bosses from Act 3 on. Germander was like the last boss that didn't die instantly. Which was kind of sad. There was like lots of probably cool boss mechanics to see in Act 4, and I did not see any of them. They all died before I had any clue what they did. The Act 2 boss did kill me a few times because I was trying to like kind of see what he was up to, but then he just killed me so fast. I think on the third time I was like, okay, I need to kill you immediately. You meanie. Doing Widow Hail. That is really boring. Very effective though. Widow Hail with crit scaling? That sounds fun. Oh, I took some damage there. Look at that. Let's see if I can get up to 7 power charges on these guys, and then I can look at the crit chance on it. Six. 7. Okay. It's at 910. It's at 87. Oh, is that including this? Now it's showing an effective chance. I don't think I have a 100% chance here. We'll just go with it anyway. We'll just full send it. If we fail, what's the worst that happens? I die on stream. That happens all the time. Yeah, that would be good, Court. That'd be very good. Does the Calandra work with Ingenuity? Never had to wonder that. Where's he going? You weirdo. I don't think that twice critted. I think that only single critted. Oh, and then Falling Thunder's on like a cooldown. That's interesting. Oh god. Wake up, Falling Thunder. Here we go. I don't think I twice critted there, but I think if I did, he would have died. We'll take out Super Crit and try something else. Super Crit's pretty YOLO. Thanks for the follow. Crazy how much better it is? Yeah. Yeah, it's much better. Well, it's better done right, right? Ooh, look at that. Tier 1, Tier 1. That's a really good start on gloves. Yeah, I mean, if you make the crit swap and your character's not ready, it will go badly. I promise. Alright, we're going to Greater Exalt this. I rolled Life Leech. Goo. I'm going to go rib this pair of gloves and see how we do. Do you miss your coming calamity at all, Rakuen? All right, so we're going to take out Super Crit. We're going to run, I think, Blindside. Could run Inevitable Crit so that we're guaranteeing the double crit. But I do think the first hit was double crit and the second one was not. Is any good? I don't think so. And double flat. Take the leech off to search. Whoa. My tool is not working. Interesting. Put those there. And where's my breach tab? Oh my god, that is full. Is there breach affinity? There is. Huh. Nice. All right, Super Crit is going back. Blindside is coming out. It's going there. I think we can get more crit bonus. I can hike back the chance there. Add bonus there. And then add bonus here. Hike that back there. Okay. Still no culmination. We'll see if we can get away without using it. Where's all my splinters? There they are. I'm almost out. Wow. So much zeshed. Not missing it. Nova's clearing everything so fast. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I was like, wow. I actually don't need heralds. I've needed heralds for every build in this game so far. That is ridiculous. It was kind of exciting, I guess. It felt weird, though. Heralds are just so mandatory in this game. Not anymore. Yeah, I think it is, too. I mean, it kind of takes the fun out of it, right? I love that we have Zesh, so we can test things. I'm able to, very controlled test all these micro changes to deleting Zesh. It's nice to have a target dummy. I know, BBT, I know. Whoop. How do you do on Big Papa Arbiter? I haven't fought him yet. But he'll die instantly. He's squishier than Zesht. And he doesn't phase until he's at 50%, so it's not like he would phase out while we're building up charges or anything. Because that would be an issue if he phased out. It would be a big issue. Check my tooltip here. Effective chance for a hit is 94. Twice is 57. What? 76 and 21. I guess it is not guaranteed, and I do have the ES gloves on. Well, these only have 98 ES. I should probably get slightly better ES gloves for this test. Interesting. Heyo! Like I said, 1 in 7, he drops something really good. Perfect exalts are cool, right? Those are pretty good. Okay, he's going for the nuke. Ah, I gotta get out of that. He did not die. I think that was a double crit. It did like 10 million. So yeah, combo necessary. I'm sure there's things we could do. I'm sure there's a lot of things we could do to hit the double crit. But I don't think it's worth it. You just run culmination, and the bifurcate gem's not good for mapping. It puts things on cooldown. It's kind of awkward. So I like just keeping it simple, I think. Bad. Bad. I'm gonna start volleying these eventually. And then yeah, this little nugget. This thing's pretty cool. We got stats. Double res. Hit this with a tier greater. Ooh, max mana.
Can I help?
All dreams go to die in the Anj shop.
Is that a good price for that?
Is that the good
I have
price for
no
that?
idea.
I know not. And if I'm not too obsessed with crit, I can run my evasion gloves, which are a lot faster. So I think it's just better this way. Let's get my baby culmination back in there. Oop. Okay, and then I can go blindside or attunement. That's still something to test out, honestly. Blindside, attunement, even armament would be one to test out. There's some higher ES gloves. Nah. Yeah, I'm over it.
Adapt or die.
When you daze enemies, it should be enough crit. Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, because my tooltip I was looking at wasn't like dazed. It was just kind of live, right? Yeah, that's a really good point. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. You're big braining. The other gem that, like, I don't know if it's working or not is the elemental inversion gem. Now, I've always been a little bit sketched out on our bosses and their elemental resist, supposed elemental resist numbers. Because I've done like some micro testing on bosses with their elemental resist and adjusting it, and in some of those tests, I have not seen any difference in DPS. And it's pretty easy to tell, right? Because they tell you how much damage you're doing on the counter. Sold one the other day. That's nice. But yeah, I did try it out for this clear a few times, and it wasn't very good. Would you believe it? What is Zesh's lightning res? We do not know. K4 says, having difficulty understanding how you're proccing the Shattering Palm so quickly. I'm killing entire first pack without that ability alone, without proccing the buff. Do you mean the projectile buff? From the staggering? Because I don't think anything really needs to proc with the Shattering. That must be what you mean, but let me know. Yeah, that one. Well, do you have the stun 3 in the link? So you need to have stun 3, which gives you 300% more stun buildup. And then you just whack the same thing. Also, what's the gem level? Because the damage, I think the stun is based on Fizz, if I'm not mistaken. Dingoes out there, anybody know? That was 70 combo? Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, K4. What's your fizz damage number on the staggering palm? Mine's 850. And my stun build-up modifier is 800%. Yeah, that would be the reason why. You got to get that tooltip up somehow. Excuse my coughs. I'm a little bit sick. Sorry about that. Bad items everywhere. Oh, there's a 5 fire spell. Yummy. Could that be good? I do not know. That was with blindside in, is that right? Yep, that was a blindside in. That was really potent. Wait, the other two mods are really bad. You ever go for a fracture on this? Already 30 exalt. I suppose you would fracture if you were going to craft on it. That's interesting. Got to decide what to do with that. I'm almost out of Zeshtis. Need to buy some more Zeshtis.
Hello, can I help?
1,500.
In as soon as I can.
Easy. This just prints. It's a printing mechanism. Asked in Discord, had no reply. Since you have so much attacks per second, is most of the clear done with damage mods on rings and gloves? So, the Hollow Palm Keystone, we get a base flat damage just for running Hollow Palm, and it scales with our gem level. So when your gem level goes up, your base flat damage goes up tremendously. And that's why getting those gem levels up from the melee skills on your Emian gloves is really important. And that's probably the biggest difference in our staggering palms, I'm guessing. But yeah, where was I going with that? So the flat damage on the rings is not as important as it is in other builds, because we get so much flat from the Hollow Palm technique. I'm not saying it's irrelevant. It is important. But I wish I could take my rings off right here and just like show you. Now, let's see here. Did that change? Did those even change? Yeah. So if you'll look at my Falling Thunder dips, it's 200k with no rings on. And it's 276 with rings on. So, you know, of course the flat is a lot, but that's also counting like the accuracy too and the crit. So it's not just the flat. The flat, of course, is important, but it's not as important as other builds I've run in the last 2 seasons, where it's like the more flat you can get, it is so important. Part of that is they made Zesht weaker. He only has 12 million health. Or at least he says he only has 12 million health. I'm a little skeptical of it, because my POB calculates my Falling Thunder damage to about 45 mil, which is how much health he used to have, which is about how much damage the Falling Thunder is doing. So, but it says he only has 12 million health. I don't know. It's pretty confusing. I wish you could level up in this zone. I'd have so much XP. They took that away from us. We used to be able to do that. It was cool. Never forget. Heyo! Every 5 to 7, you get a divine. K4, let me know if that answers your question, and if not, I can say more. That one's kind of good. Ah! Whoa. A lot of accuracy there. A couple of these are kind of cute. Not actually that good, but... Ooh. Superior spiral wraps and a tier 5 vest. Ooh. No tier 1 rolls on a tier 5. Very rude game. Very rude. Bad. Never know what to do with these. That is a really good roll. Is anybody running Wisdom in action? I don't know. Was there anything else I wanted to try? Blindside seems really good. The Ambrosia is good, I think. I just wonder sometimes if stuff is working. The Ancestral Boost gem might be more damage. I don't think it works on the projectiles. I think it only works on the slam. So it's pretty bad. I could be wrong, but that was kind of my assumption and how I saw it working. Showing you how to set up maps, path into towers, getting the Atlas points. How to like offer advice in a short, succinct way. I don't know, man. Path to tower. Unlock tower. Put tablets in, slam. Path to next tower. Unlock tower, put tablets in, slam. What's not to get? I guess getting your Atlas points is confusing now. It didn't used to be so confusing. You've got to defeat the corrupted Nexus zones, which is like the middle zone in a corrupted area, the red bloody ones. To do like, what, like 4 of those, and then the unique maps. When you complete unique maps, you get books too. Like the 2 ways. Yeah, I don't think it does Nikes. I tried it early on, so it's actually been a while since I tried it. But I remember thinking, oh, interesting, that totally didn't add what it says it added. Why not? And then I looked at Falling Thunder, and I was like, oh, this is applying to the slam, which does no damage. And it doesn't apply to the projectiles, which makes sense because the gem doesn't support projectiles. The gem supports melee. So yeah, that was kind of what I found with that. That deflection as evasion is so good. How come I can't ever go behind him on that side? It was 85 combo? It's fast. What is this ring? Gold drop ring. Ew. There's that weird, awkward quiver again. Reduce movement seems penalty on moving. That seems bad. More bad stuff. It's just zeshed over and over. Zeshies. Took a little while to buff up there. That was much longer than usual. I kind of did it wrong, I think, which is why. Try Arbiter. I don't have any tokens, and it would be tier 1. So it's kind of boring. I will get there. I haven't done a ton of mapping still. I kind of don't like mapping very much. It's not actually. I guess I don't love the towers, but the towers don't bother me as much as some others. I just don't like the maps themselves. Like the terrain in the maps drives me bonkers. But I'll probably get around to some mapping. I'm gonna do like a bunch of ritual and find a bunch of omens and, you know, pretend I'm SSF for a while to feel cool. Sorry. Yeah, it takes me about 5 hits to get a 30-second proc on that staggering palm, which is really nice. Oh. Yeah. Yep, agree on both of those, Courtright. And then, you know, sadly, and this is kind of a thing in PoE 1, if you want your map to be juicy, you need to run Delirium. And the Delirium fog in this map is, like, kind of really hard to look at for a long time, in my opinion. Which is too bad, because you have to have it on, pretty much. I think on these big malls, I'm just looking for, like, melee skills, right? Yeah, like, I don't think they're going to pull it out, but dude, just, like, get rid of the fog. We don't need it at all. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm totally with you on that. We're like speaking the same language here. I mean, I had to just, like, get over that because it was so upsetting. It's like all this beautiful music and I have to listen to this garbage the whole entire time. But yeah, that didn't crit. I missed the crit there. Oh my god. Interesting. It must be like slightly less than 100. It's the first one I've missed. I don't like that. Gotta be critting all the time. Gotta be critting all the time. All the time, gotta be critting. I got a Buyer's Anguish. Didn't have one of those. And I got a Staunching Charm. I didn't have one of those either. This one's good defense. That could go in for the Breath of the Mountains. I like it. Okay, Widow Hails are fun. You get to do this. I don't use the Omen. Not even worth the cost of entry. Bad. That one, bad. I don't really know what role I'm looking for on that one. Bad. Off we go again. Wow. They was so beefy, it's crazy. Mil. I've had the tooltip get up to 1.3 with lightning attunement in. I wonder if that's better. It feels like the blind sight is better on damage. Lightning attunement I was having to get to 100 combo. But it's weird that the tooltip would show less. Bolt does add base damage. Oh, that's interesting. Does Volt work on like a just regular melee skill? That's interesting, Nikes. Cool thought. What is your elemental weakness in Hannah Shayula? Shayula is what we use to proc the power charges on the boss. So we nerf his resists right before. Also try to apply a sniper's mark. That's something I should be a little bit more careful about. It's kind of hard though. If I could make sure I'm applying that sniper's mark right before I whack him, that's a lot more damage. Pretty hard to do though. God, I really want to go around him on that top side, but it will not let me. Oh, God. Oh, my God. He's just popping off. There's the Hand of Doom. Half of your screen is gray. Oh, thanks for the heads up. What the heck? Whoa. Whoa, what the heck? Yeah, thanks for letting me know, man. Damn. What's the deal? You have a copy of this running? Oh, God. It is not happy. Wow, what is that? What is doing that? Properties. It's a Streamlabs thing. What's this one? Event list, also Streamlabs, and those are Streamlabs. Huh. All the Streamlabs widgets are bugging out on me. Let's see here. Dude, thanks for the heads up. That is nasty looking. How long has it been like that, and why am I so bad? Dashboard. Huh, I got to turn those things off, I guess. I don't see what else can be done about them. Oh well, it's a little bit more lonely in here now. Court, what do you mean? Is that a PoE 1 thing? Toteming sniper's mark? I don't think you can.
Yes, I serve. All gold is worth more, so it is.
Okay. Vault. Vault was a cool idea. I have played around with Vault a little bit here and there this season. Surely I already have it cut. There it is. So, maximum 30 voltaic charges. We get 5% as extra lightning per 10. So that's 15% is extra lightning. Is that good? Could be good. It would definitely go in that slot. It's not changing my tooltip. Is that expected? Thanks for the follow, dude. Appreciate you. That's kind of weird, right? It's not changing the tooltip at all. Yeah, I think it must just be a PoE 1 thing on the toteming. They just made it so our totems use our weapons in this game. That was a huge improvement. At least from a design standpoint. I don't know how the totem bros are doing this season. They're probably mad. What's up, Cristobal? I have a question. I just get the quarterstaff with the biggest DPS on the market, or do I have idea of prices? So this is hollow palm technique. We don't use any weapon in either slot. So lucky you, the answer is very simple. It doesn't seem odd that Vault is not changing my tooltip at all. I think that seems very odd. I'm trying to see what it gets up to when I get to 7 power charges. Was it 7 there for a moment? Okay, got back over 1 million. It's promising. Here's at 1.3 again. Okay, so that's probably from the charge staff. I guess charge staff is actually important. Whoa. It's a lot of elemental. Still bad. That helmet could be interesting. Gone. What was my combo there? Could you slot in Voltaic Mark 2 in hand to Shayula? I think so. Do we want to? Boss, total how much DY? What does that mean? You need some reasonable phrasing for me to answer. All this stuff is bad. I'm the king of bad finds. Just gonna start selling my Hoas. I don't know what to do with them. That vault seemed good. To me, it seemed good. Gonna try again. I wonder about overextend. Yeah, I mean, it seems to add a lot, but it doesn't seem to add as much as some of the other options. Like lightning attunement and close. Yeah, it says it adds more than both of them. Interesting. Should stand to reason then that blindside should do pretty well. Super critical is just where it's at. How do I get going on the super critical chain? Maybe I need those unique gloves for more base crit hit chance. I don't know. I'm trying to solve something that doesn't need to be solved. You already have to sort of dance around Zesht a bit, so what's the point in like making it so much better? Maybe if we end up needing it on Arbiter, that would be like an argument for it. Ice Strike good or bad? So if you look at my guide on Mobalytics, I've got an archetype of the build that goes all the way up to tier 15 maps. And in all of those variants, Ice Strike could be very good. And then I have this variant, which is the crit variant. It's more expensive. It involves a lot of different gem techs and interactions. And in this variant, Ice Strike bad. It's too slow. Way too slow. How much LV coming build? Are you talking about price? Are you trying to ask price? We've got a little bit of translation issue here. 30 divines That's my guess. The answer to your question. I don't know for sure. I don't know what he's asking. Whoa. Whoa. That wand almost had some potential. Ah, it's scary hand. Gone. What's up, Jean Paul? Followed the bill, but you got crushed in maps. I'm trying to figure out why you would get crushed in maps. That's the interesting part of what you said. But yeah, I updated my build guide today on Mobalytics. Provided a lot of good resources that will help you answer your question. I can drop this in the chat. And yeah, on the current variant I'm running, the main thing you need is this ES chest, which was 15 divines when I wrote this guide. Let's see what it's at. 19. It's up a little bit. From there, you can start scaling everything else. You can get, cheap versions of everything else. You can self-craft the amulet. I have a guide for that. And yeah, then when you really get going, you can buy these I call them Uber gear. You can buy these crazy jewels. You can buy Dialias, stuff like that. This version of the build, the T15 maps version, is like 1 div. You can put this bad boy together for 1 div. Good luck, good luck. Huh, look at that double stats roll. It's kind of cute. Wow. These are cool. Last season, those would have been great.
Who sent you? Find more breach remnants for my research.
Oh, sorry, Nino. I didn't see your question at first. Let me see if my boxes are still gray. They're not. They're back. Hey, let me know if these boxes go gray again, everybody. I like having my stuff up. They went full gray mode. Is this an ES evasion hybrid? It is, Jean-Paul, technically, but each item in slot is not a hybrid item. Initial DR on him so you don't insta-kill him. No, the pre-buff is just getting 7 power charges is all, Nino, if I'm understanding your question right. Does tier of Waystone in Tower affect anything, just the mods? The tier affects the overall area level. So when you look at your area, for instance, up here in the top right, we have monster level 82. And your tier of your Waystones is affecting that monster level and area level. And the higher area level, the better gear you're dropping. Shattering Palm is like a mysterious skill to me. I cannot figure out why it causes such havoc. What's up, Ben? Welcome, dude. Been following your build at 80 plus. Super poor. Is a possible transition without crit and instead go damage speed nose? Wait. Transition? What are you trying to transition to? The big transition I have in the guide is to transition to crit. So I'm trying to figure out what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't affect radius. That's correct, Marcus. Yeah, good luck, Jean-Paul. And yeah, it could be a skill issue. Definitely in maps, the curve of understanding what to do, where to go, how to not get stuck, how to navigate Abyss, all that is really important. Also, your chaos resistance is pretty important in the Abyss, so keep that in mind. Oh, from the Ice Strike. Yeah, you can move off the Ice Strike version without crit. Just go to the T15 map version, and if you run Bell with, you know, the Shattering Palm and all that, it should be pretty potent. And yeah, Ice Strike is a bit clunky. I prefer the teleporting. It's helpful mobility, but it's definitely a bit clunky. I agree. Dude, I'm like bouncing off of him in the weirdest way. Do you see that? That was so odd. Is this worth keeping? I could exalt it up at least. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, let me fact check myself here on what I just said about Ice Strike. Where's my browser? Here it is. All right, so I think before I swapped over to crit, I had already dropped Ice Strike. And in the guide, I still have it on there. But if you were dropping it, you would just zoom around to Shattering Palm and Slam Bell and Tempest Flurry. This would assume that you just have enough DPS to do that. But it seemed to work fine. And you got to be smart with your Falling Thunders. Only proc them when you have 10 combo. And they should delete everything. Should be just fine. Oh, that seems kind of good. We're due for a big currency drop here. How about a mirror, Zeshti? Mirror from Zesht, I believe. Raccoon says had to compromise on time lost Sapphire. Trade link only showed 2 options. Cheapest was 150.
Say hello to my
Well, that's pretty good overall. I mean, that's not bad. Thanks for the sub, Ben. I will say on the trade link, where is this trade links? Yeah, on the trade links, there's 2 things to notice, and hopefully you didn't spend too much, and this is like super game changing. But I've got upgrades radius to large on these, which makes them as good as they can be. But if we turn that off right here and hit search again, then you're going to see tons of results. And you can sort here with those results in mind. My radius is small. Large gets you out here to chakra. I think it maybe gets you to both. I can't remember. It gets you here. Maybe gets to reflexes. I can't remember. So yeah, the large is like significantly better. But I'm running a small. They're like 5 divs. What's my DPS sitting at? Very high. It's not meant to be a cheeky answer. On the main clear skill here, it's pretty much impossible to know, and that is because of the way we're using the skills. So, you know, the first thing that we're doing is we're buffing with Charge Staff, and Staff has like some cryptic text to it that doesn't make sense. Reusing this skill while the buff is active adds to its duration and damage, but it doesn't say how much it adds. It does add. I have like looked at it, and it doesn't say exactly how much, and it's per power charge. So like I don't know if it's adding both times with the power charge buff or what. But if that were the only thing, we could probably still figure it out. The other problem is we are buffing with shatter or with what the hell's it called? Staggering Palm. And Staggering Palm is giving us a quarterstaff projectile attack. And the way that supports and damage interact with that projectile add-on is mysterious as well. And if that wasn't enough, we're using Shattering Palm, which is applying this mysterious cold debuff that's also doing strange shattering damage. And then when you put all three of those combined, we just have no idea how much damage we're doing with this main ability. Now, the tooltip on our Falling Thunder is very reliable. I'm very proud of it. It is around 1 million. Sometimes it's at 1.3 million when it's having a good day. What's up, Will? How's it going, dude? Yeah, there should be a POB code on the Mobalytics guide over on the right side. Is there not? That would be my answer to you, sir. If not, you can search me on PoE Ninja. It's just Ignatius HS. What's up, Moonshard? Why am I farming Zesht? Zesht is a nice target dummy for testing out different things. And also, Zesht is 1 divine for like 10 entries. So it definitely is like an easy print. It's not like super lucrative, but it does print while we're testing stuff out, which I like. He is due for a big drop. He's overdue. Yeah, holy giga damage. I did update the guide today with like instructions on how I'm doing everything. A pretty good tiara. Little max mana at the end, that kind of scuffed it. Because crafting this league is so deterministic, everything is just average is no good. Probably should have thrown like a jawbone on that or something. That were almost a challenge. I heard her say that in the middle there. And everybody loves the Amazon's voice lines so much. I actually do love them, and they used the AI in the new season, which was really frustrating to me, but you know, this isn't the time for venting my frustrations. My true causes for concern in this game are just voice lines. Everything else is great. There is a POV code in the top right. Can use that to import the build in the app. Okay, cool. Thanks for confirming that, Nikes. I thought there was. And I was excited when Mobalytics made that possible. Woohoo! Do I like the endgame state? Like, compared to PoE 1, it has a long way to go. But PoE 1's been out for like 14 years, so that should be expected, right? And PoE 1 is like the gold standard. It's the greatest of all time in terms of endgame state for ARPG. Compared to all other ARPGs, PoE 2 is far ahead of the pack. Far, far ahead of, like if you think about Diablo 4's in-game state. It's not even a chat, right? It's not even a discussion. It's just non-existent. So yeah, how's PoE 2's endgame? It's better than all other ARPGs except for its own predecessor, PoE 1. Oh god. It's the scary pink beams and I'm stuck. Ah! He doesn't usually do those. Oh, now it's scary nuke. Holy cow, he's out to get me here. Get out of here, dude. That was crazy. I was so scared for my life. Anyone who disagrees should be ashamed. Yeah, I mean, there's some people who I think the main reason they get mad about the end game is because they've played PoE 1 and they just want this one to be good enough. Or as good, I should say, not good enough. Wrong words. And yeah, we just can't expect that. This game is like brand new. Right? These are pretty cool. Ooh, roll decks. Okay, these are going down to the sexy abyss zone. We gotta toss these into the well of justice. By the way, thanks everyone for being here tonight. It is much more fun streaming with you all than all by myself. Well, those are bad. Thanks, Puma. Ah, Will. Yes. It's a huge conundrum with Path of Exile games. They are very overwhelming on PCs. I had to buy a new one for PoE 2, just in general. And I'm so glad I did. What do I do with all the breach rings? I don't even look at them. I dump them in that tab, and I wait for a Chinaman to tell me that it's worth 80 Exalt. And then I take a look at it, and I usually craft it. They could experiment more? I guess so. That'd probably make people even madder, though. I mean, they're working really hard on stability. Did you see the patch today? It has like 500 bug fixes. And like stability to all Abyss mechanics. I think it's really cool that they're focusing on stability. They could easily let this game just go haywire and get really unstable. You know, in a vacuum, towers, like, looking at how this endgame will scale, I do personally believe they need to ditch the entire Atlas and towers concept. I'm a little worried that they won't. But if you've played PoE 1 and the way that you can choose your map layouts and then completely affect your map properties via, you know, consumables that you can trade for in the device and that are like totally deterministic, it's just 1,000 times better. It makes trading better. It makes farming better. It makes creating unique farming strategies like more diverse. There's like 100,000 times better. I don't know why they got away from that. But yeah, so you know, I do have an opinion on the Atlas and towers, and I think it's not going to be as good as PoE 1 no matter what they do to it. Well, we'll see. Yeah, it really is, Chain. It really is. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, update campaign was awesome. And also just in general, the PoE 2 campaign is freaking OP. I just absolutely love the music, the flavor, the design, the story. Like, it's all just fantastic. So, no complaints there from me whatsoever. To me, it was so cool. I didn't even mind doing Cruel. I just enjoyed Cruel. I just savored it. You meanie. He's being so mean to me today. He's mad I'm one-shotting him. Yeah, I think so too, Minchard. And I'm willing to give him that space. I think this game is like second best ARPG ever. And the first one just being PoE 1. PoE 1's so old it's hard to look at sometimes, so we need a new one. Tier 1 Chaos. Ooh, 35 move. Let's go. That's awesome. It's on armor boots. But it's quadruple tier 1. It's pretty cool. I think we'll use a greater exalt. Oh! I just rolled tier 1 armor and evasion. Holy smokes. Back to the Well of Justice we go. Puma, do you like the Well of Justice? Oh, come on, dude. 11%. Don't be mean. Okay, we'll take that. Those are probably, like, useless. Well, think about it for a moment. All right, so we've got an armor evasion hybrid, which I don't think anybody wants. 38 res. Deflection rating with strength. It's probably going to be an unsearchable pair of boots. They're cool, though. I'm going to start them at 3 div and see if we get lucky.
Someone is bound to buy that.
Yeah, this build's insane for mapping. Which I can show right now, because I'm all out of breach splinters again. That was 10 more Zesh runs. It was pretty good. They always pay for themselves. Okay, let's make ourselves a really sexy waystone. Oop, what am I doing? We'll fill it out. We will go to the ritual and grab one of these chaotic rarities. Slam that. Oof. God, that rolled nicely. And then we'll give it the old vertebra. Go down to Puma's favorite Well of Justice. Try and get a really OP Abyss mod. That is not the vision. Happens though. And then still. Okay, there's making one waystone. Thanks for making it easy on us, game. Take Ambrosia out. I have not used your amulet crafting guide. Thought I had a good one. Not using the 47 spirit on it. T1 chaos. Crit chance, crit damage, evasion, life plus spirit. Should I craft a better one? So the thing you'd be missing is the percent defenses. Which is pretty big. So when I take this off, my evasion goes down to 74, which is a big difference. And deflection, which double dips here, goes from 66 to 62. So it's pretty big. My rolls are also like not perfect here. My evasion rolls tier 4. It's pretty bad. My ES rolls tier 2. So yeah, I guess mine could use a nice upgrade. My global defenses roll is bad as well. It's tier 1, but it's the lowest possible. Yeah, I would say the global defenses is important, and you should probably reroll eventually. But it's fine for now. Vol it up. All right. Grasping vines on hit is going to be so tasty. No, it's just that you can have both, Rakim. So the global defenses is a guaranteed tier 1 property. And then you can add evasion. So you can have both, is what I'm saying. Let's go to the ice cave. I don't know what the ice cave is, but I think we get to fight the Yeti, right? So that's cool. Yeah, for mapping, I don't think there's a build that's faster at mapping than this build. Maybe a Gemling version of this build would be faster, I was thinking. Because Gemling's really cool. Gemling is the really cool class that I'll just never quite get around to playing. But yeah, density with this build, no problem. Survivability off the charts. Movement, unbelievable. It's just that I just don't like mapping and just, I don't know. Single target, super OP, obviously. Yeah, I mean, look at this map. Like, it's so nasty looking. It's crazy. My computer's starting to lag. But, you know, like, clearly we're doing just fine. Holy density, dude. This is the densest map anyone has ever seen? What is going on in my life right now? I got a 10 breach map. It's outrageous. I didn't even want a map. How did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? Somebody asked me to map. It's their fault. Blame them. This is a great showcase. I don't ever need to clip another mapping showcase. This is by far the densest map I have ever seen. In PoE 2. All my PoE 1 bros do not need to yell at me for that comment. I know. Thanks, Delirium, for making this such an ugly aesthetic experience. What is even going on? What did Jan say? Oh my god, something bad's happening. I'm trying to get through this abyss pile. It won't let me through. Listen to my jackpot sounds going on. Hilarious. Here I wanted to just relax and like look at chat. Nope. Had to go do a map. I still can't kill that guy in there. It won't let me in. All the problems of mapping exposed in one map. Including, and not limited to, the fact that I have found no loot. That these monsters are completely invincible. Cannot get through that area. The Delirium song has not stopped playing over and over. Okay, I'll stop complaining about mapping. Mapping's cool. We'll drop a divine here. We will. I've got the filter and all the custom sounds in a channel in Discord called Filters. I actually just updated it tonight by request, so it's all fresh. My filter itself is super strict on items and bases, and is a little bit more lenient on currency, because I just kind of like to pick up the stuff that I use. I find that delightful. How much rarity am I running? I think I'm about 50 right now. I haven't really focused on that at all. I think the consensus is pretty much the same of like getting around 100 is really good. So I'd like to be there eventually if I can. Oh my god, it's like the hugest map. What is this map? Ice Cave. Hopefully Yeti map. That Falling Thunder was awesome. Whoop. This way, please. Back across the narrow bridge. I'm have to just go back through and loot this whole thing. That's going to be really painful. I'll do that off stream. The action is... It's been an action-packed map. An action-packed mapping experience. Oh, a Chaos Orb. We found something, chat. Falling Thunder is so delicious in those little moments there. Orb of Chance, I believe that is the same rarity as a Divine, so we're going to just count that. The loot is everywhere. We like loot and we don't care who knows. Look at the clear. The clear on this build is really satisfying. Makes you never want to pick up a bow again. Holy density. Got through it somehow. And we have a boss. Who do we have? Oh god, it is Ice Monkey. Oh, he almost got me. Hey, one monster left. That was such an epic finish, dude. The greatest map of my life. I just went full plow mode on that and got to one monster left, killed the boss, dropped the Divine. Wahoo. So Lassig, you asked about the weapon swap and Falling Thunder. Yeah, to some extent you could do that. There's a little bit of a conflict with Charge Staff. So you have to Charge Staff each swap to make it count. So for mapping, that presents a bit of a limitation because you want Falling Thunder to slam hard on stuff, especially the map mod where the abysses get harder and more rewarding per abyss. Those ones near the end, they get really hard. They're just really beefy. And a super giga-juiced Falling Thunder will kill them. But yeah, you could technically do that. The other thing is that when you get into the crit mode, there's not a lot of nodes that aren't just crit bonus anyway, which are applying to both weapon sets with equal value. Because you want your, you want your little skills to crit as much as you want your Falling Thunder to crit as you're running through the map. I'm full? Oh my god, look at all these little Tic Tacs. Is it easy to transfer to this build from the Hollow Palm Evasion build? This is still the Hollow Palm Evasion build. In my guide, which I updated today, I do talk a lot about what it takes to transfer it. So I'd recommend just like taking a look at that section. I have like a little section specifically about transferring from the tier 15 mapping version of this build, which was about 1 divine total, and then what I'm running here, which is like a 30 divine minimum, I feel. And then, of course, it can go up from there if you want to min-max it a lot harder. We're at about 78 evasion and like 65 deflection. And we're res capped, including chaos. And never die. I Except when Zesht is doing drive-bys. Which he did tonight one time. He didn't do drive-bys last season. It's been a very surprising evolution of Zesht. Jinbarias for average Zao. I'm saving him for you if you're out there, Zowskis. Yeah, the Herald's Chest will help a lot. It frees up skill slots for doing some more things. Obviously gives you all the Heralds, including Herald of Ash without the requirement. So, you know, it's very powerful. It's so powerful it's hard to get away from it later. A pretty nicely rolled tiara, honestly. Yeah, it probably wasn't there the last time. I've added it this morning. Oh, by the way, Court, my dudette is level 93. Sorry, I didn't see that. Most seasons they get to level 95, which is where they kind of like cut things off and make it a lot harder to continue to level. One of these seasons I'm going to make a full send for 100. It'd be really fun. Not going to be this season. It's just been... I spent all my time on this build, and I'd still like to do a few more builds this season. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. It isn't often that I get to stream, especially for multiple hours like I did tonight. And, of course, it would be so boring if no one was here. So thank you all for being here. If you are new, feel free to throw me a like on YouTube or a sub on YouTube. And then also feel free to follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thank you, Agony. If you're on Discord, come on by and join our Discord. We have a very active and fairly small community of people who are, you know, really proactive about, you know, interacting on builds. And it's very, very PoE centric. I can create a fresh invite here and drop it in the chat. I did update the guide for the build you saw tonight. Earlier today, it is fresh. It has everything you need. It now has trade links for the endgame gear. And you can follow the progression all the way from level 27 to the cheap mapping variant to the very expensive final form. All here. Oh, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you later.